Bodhisattva, Changchu Semba. When we say Changchu Semba, it also includes our Lokiteshvara, Green Tara, White Tara, Manjushri, and then other form of deity. So, like Guru Rinpoche, all of this is Changchu Semba. Changchu Semba Semba Chempo, you know. So Changchu Semba is a Bodhisattva. Second. Third, Summa, Yishiki Summa, Mahakala, right? Mahakala. Yishiki Summa, there is a difference between Jiglingi Summa and Yishiki Summa. Jiglingi Summa, it means that, you know, in Bhutan we have, say, this is a Zen temple, you know, and a little bit red face and a little bit Renkang mixed together. So these are Jiglingi Summa. Jiglingi Summa means worldly goals, okay? For your future success, great fortune, longevity, bring more luck and fortune for your life and family, and so on and so forth. Yishiki Summa means enlightened protector, okay? So that's the difference. Not every lookalike is Mahakala, okay? Not every lookalike Bodhisattva is a Bodhisattva painting, because sometimes it can be Bodhisattva, sometimes it can be just the extra painting on the side, right? So we understand the distinction. It's very more. Now, when it comes to Mahakala, there is a 4 arms Mahakala, 2 arms Mahakala, 6 arms Mahakala, and there's a different form of Mahakala. And each of the Mahakala has a different origin. Now, every Mahakala that we receive empowerment and teaching, Yishiki Summa, has an origin to the Lord Buddha's teaching. Okay? Like an example, Lord Buddha, before he passed away, he transformed himself into Kala Chakra. So then he gave Tantrayana teachings to Vajrapani and all the different students and bodhisattvas and so on. So, the current, we are talking about the 6 arms Mahakala. So within the category of the 6 arm Mahakala, there's a 13 different type of empowerment. Okay? So now when we talk about the empowerment, we are always told that we must practice what we receive. Right? That's what we hear all the time. Whichever the one that you receive, you must practice it. If you just simply do a math, it's impossible. Like an example, Rinchen Terzu, Ramjam Rinpoche gave a Rinchen Terzu empowerment in Paro, and then also, other great masters, they gave Rinchen Terzu. Rinchen Terzu empowerment, transmission, takes 6 months. Each, that's not repetitive. Each empowerment. Per day, there's 13 different empowerment, 20 different empowerment, 10 different empowerment. Right? Just to repeat once, it takes a whole day. And then you multiply that per day for 6 months. Right? That's a tremendous amount of deities and protectors. And then, just like that, there's Dhammam-zu, Kajumam-zu, Shija-zu, and the Rinchen-ter-zu. So there's a different combination of different empowerment from the different lineage. So many of the Nyingma practice teachings are within the empowerment of Rinchen-ter-zu. Okay? Rinchen-ter-zu. And then many of the Kaju practice are within the Kaju-mam-zu. And then Shija-zu is mainly to do with the transmission. And then Dhammam-zu is a little bit of Kajupa practice, but mainly Shampa practice, Shampa-lin. So that's something important to understand. I gave that empowerment a few years ago. When I came out of retreat, I received that empowerment a couple of times from different masters. I received an empowerment of Dhammam-zu from Jatsab Rinpoche, Siddhu Rinpoche, and then from Tenga Rinpoche. So these are the, and then Bokar Rinpoche, the previous Bokar Rinpoche. I received all this Dhammam-zu empowerment, Kaju-mam-zu empowerment, and so on and so forth. So logically, it's impossible to practice all that you receive. That's what I'm trying to say. The real interpretation of practice what you receive, it means refuge, bodhicitta, maintaining the clarity when you're doing a chanting, dedication to all the sentient being at the end. Long as these few principles are intact, you are practicing all the empowerment in one. You understand? So long as there's a refuge, bodhicitta, and then clarity of the mind with practicing, and then the dedication at the end. Long as these four principles are intact, you are practicing all in one, whichever the deity practice that you may choose. Okay? So now that we have a clear understanding. Now when we talk about Damsik, Samaya, Ta Damsik, I think Bhutan is very famous to say, Damsik, Ta Damsik. You see, Damsik is very much wrongly interpreted to the people without understanding clearly. We think Damsik is something that, like a vow, that if I break, I will be punished. Right? If you are somehow punished because you didn't follow Damsik, then I'm sure that all the Buddhas are not Buddha. All the Bodhisattvas are not Bodhisattvas. All the Ishigasoma, they are not Ishigasoma. They are all holy gods. If they can be upset and offended by you, that means you are enlightened. You are more superior. That means the enlightened beings have not overcome the illusion of the mind. Right? Let's say there's a great Buddha sitting in front of you. And you criticize the Buddha, and Buddha says, how dare you criticize? And that is not a Buddha. That's someone who is pretending to be Buddha. Right? So the Damsik, if you cannot uphold Damsik under any condition, it does not mean that it will punish you. Okay? It is a promise for yourself. It is not a promise that is to the Buddha that somehow if you don't do a practice, you will be punished, it will bring bad luck, it will bring bad fortune. And then if that's the case, then Buddha is no longer the Buddha. That the Ishigasoma are not compassionate. Then there's no difference from worshipping a Hindu gods. The Hindu gods, they are filled with superstition. And they say, if you throw something like that towards the temple, you get sick the next day because you throw something over there next to the temple. Because they are only gods. You look at the Buddha Shakyamuni history, you will understand very clearly. His own family relatives were against him. And yet, his answer is always with the wisdom, always with the compassion. Therefore, all the deities, all the protectors, origin coming from the Lord Buddha, isn't it? Sangji Gitupa, Shangju Semba, Semba Chemba, all Ishigasoma, all of this emanation of the Buddha. Therefore, they carry the same principle. So we should not practice Dharma out of fear with the opposite understanding. You understand? So therefore, Damsik, what does it mean, Damsik? Damsik is not a rules that you must keep with the great fear. Do you understand? If you have a compassion, bodhicitta, Changshu Gisen Rinpoche in your heart, seeing the reality of the suffering as it is, when you see the reality of the suffering as it is, you will see the benefit and the solution of the Lord Buddha's teaching, the Dharma, as it is. Therefore, you avoid the negativity by itself. You do not have to put fear within you. So therefore, we have to see the reality of the suffering as it is. Like an example, meaning of renunciation. Many of us, when we think about renunciation, we think that we have to remove things, throw things away, remove things, relocate ourselves. Renunciation, for some, they wear different clothes, they renounce the worldly things. But majority of us, renunciation, it means a reflection to oneself. When you have a deeper reflection to oneself, whether you have practice or not, whether you've been distracted or not, during the time of your practice, whether your intention is pure or not, whether you have pure devotion to the Buddha Dharma or not, When you keep on checking on yourself, that is the meaning of renunciation. If you're trying to force things out, it's just force. You are going against your own state of mind without any understanding. Right? Like an example, definition of monk and nun. Right? The definition of monk and nun. They see the reality of the suffering as it is. Therefore, they renounce the worldly things. Nobody forced them. They make that decision and the choice on their own. Therefore, they are monk. Therefore, they are nun. You understand? So therefore, renunciation is not something that you have to forcefully oppose on someone or oppose on yourself. Renunciation, it means state of mind that you must renounce certain pattern of negativity, certain pattern of negative habit, let's put it like this, or certain pattern of distraction, gradually, over time, slowly, step by step. And that is the meaning of renunciation. Like an example, Milarepa.